Hey, what's up, guys? So next up, I wanted to talk about the basic mechanics of the game. Finding a sensitivity, aim and crosshair placement, like FFA or aimbots, recoil control, utility usage, angling yourself and positioning yourself, along with movement. So for the basic starting part, finding a sensitivity, I've already launched up a map where you can. What I've seen a lot of pro players teach others is that they ask the player to like shoot a wall and then keep their crosshair on the dot, while running around doing stuff, which I actually tried that method and it sort of worked out for me back when I used to play in 1024 by 768. But then now I've changed my sensitivity quite a bit to use what I feel comfortable with and what makes me feel super accurate. So that's like the main thing about finding a sensitivity. Next up, I wanted to talk about your aim and your crosshair positioning, along with positioning yourself and angling the angles. So this is the YPRAC map, the YPRAC Mirage guide. It has a lot of features like pre-firing, peeking, smokes, molotovs, flashbangs. So I'll show you what the peak practice looks like. This is what it basically looks like, just going out and then you can shoot the opponent, just to like get a feel of the pre-fire and stuff. Next, the other thing was the smoke practice, which will help you in your utility, overall. A lot of the times, not a lot of the times, but sometimes I've seen these maps go out at 8, like this lineup doesn't work anymore. They actually changed it to this now, which is I think updated. Yep, this is the updated version, so not every smoke or not every ESO utility will be accurate on this map, since it's quite old now. I think 2 or 3 years now. But this is how you can practice your utility and just get better at the game. Next up, I wanted to talk about your movement, for which I think you can use a lot of different things like KZ or surf maps. If you search surf or KZ, I think a lot of new maps or companies have started putting out maps in India, specifically in Mumbai, so that a lot more people can practice on these maps, their movement and their KZ, surfing, basically the same thing. Also, DMing and aimbots is actually a really good thing that you can do to improve, when you learn when you should one tap or when you should spray, on your enemies. Next up, your recoil control. For recoil control, there's a specific map that I like to use. It's called the Recoil Master map from Uletical, the same guy that created the aimbots map. So in this map you can basically practice your your recoil control, and you just get a feel of what the weapons shoot like. Pretty basic stuff. I think if you've played this game for over 1,000 hours, you'll actually be quite familiar with the spray control. That's what the spray control on this looks like if you follow the exact thing. But then you can practice on your own and like shoot at a wall. What I suggest is doing like 20 bullets per, because you never shoot 30 bullets at a time. So if that was the enemy, would have probably died. So doing short bursts and short controlled bursts is what I like to do personally, because in a normal game you would never shoot like 30 bullets at a time at one person unless you're like spray transferring and stuff. Next up, I wanted to talk about positioning yourself and angles, basic stuff. You can just hop into a normal game, practice with bots game, and then you can just put the exec code in, like the warm-up stuff, and then you can just position yourself and look where you can peek angles and where you can hide, off angles and stuff, which is actually quite helpful, whenever you're in a game. So like if on train there's this really good spot that a lot of players don't use. It's you can either play this spot, if there's a smoke out there, you can just hide like right under all of, or you can hide here. There's a lot more angles on train. And then what I've seen a lot of players do is that whenever they're like on CT side train, what they do is they just run out connector and then they do this, which if there's a smoke there usually fails, and then they run into pop top, which is actually not a good strat at all, because if there's an opper over here fast peeking out, mid, he can actually quite easily get you, which I don't think that's really good strat. You lose the man advantage and stuff. That's the main thing about your mechanics and game sense. These are the basic things that most people go through when they're like beginners to the game and want to learn the mechanics. Finding your sensitivity, your aim and crosshair placement, how to control the recoil, utility usage, again, Y-Prac maps, angle and positioning, off angles, positioning yourself correctly, while peeking, so like jiggle peeking and stuff. I'll just show you what a jiggle peek looks like. So if there's like a guy in connector, you can just either go here and then jiggle peek them out like this, so that if that's an offer, the shot will get baited and then you will be able to like kill them, trade them out. And then there's movement, obviously, which you can either go into maps like these and get better at. So like what a lot of players do on Pop Dog is that they just press W to go up rather than W and D'ing, which basically makes them a lot faster, and which is basically an upgrade to your movement, or just jumping around the map, learning stuff, learning new jumps, like just doing this will actually improve your movement a lot. And then that's basically it for the mechanics part. I'll see you in the next one.